Welcome back to Gainesville. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson up in the booth, and down on the sideline, Tracy Wolfson with Urban Meyer a moment ago.
Coach, I have to ask you about that touchdown pass by Tebow. Was that a design play?
Oh yeah, that's a little. We ran that once when at Utah. You know, a game like this, possessions are a premium. We got to take care of the ball.
How important was momentum going into that second half?
The last 5 minutes of the first half is critical, and the first 5 minutes of the second half is going to be just as critical.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, Urban Meyer mentioning Utah, and it gives me a chance to pop Lee Groskop again. And Tate Casey with the touchdown catch.
Well, it was designed, but it didn't come off as designed. Good for Florida. I mean, that was, you know, they took advantage of everything that happened, and they figured out a way to get 2 plays at the end.
LSU won the toss to begin the game. They deferred the option, so they will receive as we open the third quarter. Early Doucette. Trindon Holiday are deep. This is Doucette at the 3. Bobbles it. Oh, my. And it's in the end zone. Scramble for it. Safety. Special teams, Gary. Wow. Special teams.
Special teams and self-inflicted wounds have been the story for LSU. Riley Cooper, the freshman wide receiver, is the guy who did it. But look at this. A hit by Cooper, and Cooper ends up forcing it for the safety.
That is the second muff on a kicking situation. Chevis Jackson muffed a punt in the first half. Now Early Doucette muffs the kickoff. Riley Cooper, the freshman wide receiver, safety.
And it's a good thing Holiday got that ball, because if he didn't, that would have been a touchdown. Since Doucette got the ball back, it was not really considered a muff. It was considered a fumble. So he muffed it, he picked it up, got hit, fumbled, so now it's a live ball. It does not come back to the spot. Whew.
Don't tell me you don't know the rules.
Well, once in a while. And I got to learn more of them here, because these games, everything happens. The turnovers that LSU survived a year ago are coming back to haunt them this year. There's the muff. There's the recovery. Now it's a live game. Cooper hits him. Free ball.
Holiday did fall on it. Safety. Now the free kick for LSU. From the 20.
Another true freshman player making a play right there for Florida. There's a bunch of them playing.
13 true freshmen have played so far this year out of a class of 26. Widely regarded by those who keep track of such things as the first or second best recruiting class last year. Here's Chris Jackson with a kick. Brandon James out to the 34-yard line. Early Doucette, my fault. Les Miles again having to talk to one of his players after a special teams problem.
And I think that's a good move by Les Miles. He cannot let his team get frustrated. Look, calls have been going against them. They've been making a lot of penalties. They've been having self-inflicted wounds. Too many men on the field, not enough men on the field. Now they have to settle down, and just Les Miles has to say, listen, let's just play some football here and see what happens at the end of the game.
Well, 16-7 now, so a 9-point deficit, and Florida back on offense. First down, handed off to Keaston Moore. And let's take a breath and look at the halftime numbers.
And the turnovers is the huge check. I mean, special teams have been huge, as Vern just mentioned it before. Both teams ran 30 plays in the first half. Florida had the ball 6 times. LSU only had the ball 5 times. These games have become compressed, and every series and every situation becomes more pressurized.
Second down and 8. Leak, Harvin in motion. They flip it out to Caldwell, who's got Dallas Baker trying to block. Caldwell knocked out of bounds up near the 43.5, maybe the 44-yard line.
Can't stress enough that LSU cannot get frustrated here. They've made some mistakes. They got a couple dubious calls against them, but most of all, they've shot themselves. When you fumble a snap on the 1-yard line for a chance to score, you know, you had the roughing the passer. I can understand they're frustrated by that, especially what happened at Auburn a few weeks ago, you know, so, but they must concentrate, put that away, let Les Miles handle that after the game.
First down and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Leak. Flips it out right side, gets a great block, and here's Bubba Caldwell to the 43-yard line. Drew Miller, number 67, led the way.
You called it. Great block by Carlton Metter, number 73. He's outside right there. Watch the big tackle. It's a wide receiver screen. He's going to push and then peel back and just flatten Tyson Jackson on the end right there, and that takes Bubba Jackson, who, by the way, is looking healthier and healthier every time I watch him.
Caldwell, who missed most of last year with a fractured leg, suffered in the third game of the year against Tennessee. Percy Harvin, the freshman, is on the field. Here's the handoff. It's Harvin. Such great speed. Harvin electrified this crowd in the first 2 games. Suffered the high ankle sprain. Second quarter at Tennessee, has played until today 1 play since then.
First game against Kentucky, he ran a reverse, didn't feel good, took himself out. Florida would like to use Percy Harvin a la Reggie Bush, and that's what they think he can do.
There's Harvin, all-state football, basketball, track and field in Virginia. Second down and 1. Chris Leak has hit his last 6 passes. Tebow's in there now. Oh, look at this. Goes deep. How about that? Touchdown! Louis Murphy. Urban Meyer and Dan Mullen are pulling out all the stops in this one.
They fake the quarterback draw, fake the wheel route, and hit the post route.
Hetland's extra point is good.
Post route right there is what's going to score. The wheel route comes out here. LaRon Landry, the free safety, thinks it's a run. Watch him come up. Does not get to center field. No one in the middle of the field. That is as easy as you can get it. Didn't even have to jump on this one.
Tim Tebow to Louis Murphy. Touchdown, Gators. Homecoming in Gainesville. This game, as are all of our SEC games, brought to you on CBS in high definition television. Tim Tebow, second touchdown pass of the game and his career. Louis Murphy on the receiving end. His first touchdown catch. 16 points in the last 3 minutes and 17 seconds. This all began with the muff by Early Doucette that led to the safety.
But Florida, when they got that kick from the 20-yard line, that was a brilliantly called drive. Dan Mullen again made adjustments at halftime, and they've come out here on fire.
Early Doucette takes the EOS kickoff a yard back. And finally hauled down at the 36-yard line. 23-7 the score here. Let's go back to our New York studios and spend a moment with Tim Brando.
Notre Dame, a once beaten team, rolls Stanford today 31-10. Brady Quinn with one of his 3 touchdown passes. That one to Rima McKnight for 15 yards. In all, 27 for 37, 230 yards, and 3 TDs for the Heisman candidate. Vern.
All right, Tim, thank you. 23-7 here. Battle of two top 10 teams. Now Jamarcus Russell, one of the mistakes by the Tigers in this game, his fumble at the 1-yard line when they were going in for a touchdown. On first down, play action. Russell flips it out. Caught in the flat by Jacob Hester, number 18. Turnovers for the day. On special teams, Gary especially.
Started with the punt. Jackson muffs it. Florida ends up with it. Score on the drive. Fumbled at the 1-yard line. Opportunity for 7 points. And then a deep ball that receivers were wide open over the middle of the field. Jamarcus Russell wanted to go deep. And in the start the second half, a muff punt that cost them, kickoff, and ends up costing him 2 points and the ball.
On first down, here's the toss. They test the middle. Justin Vincent, number 25, not much there.
That front four for Florida. It is allowing, that front four is allowing Florida's safeties to play deep, to cover up for the corners. 2 safeties are deep most of the time, and the corners know they have help deep because that front 7 and those linebackers in the front 4 are handling the run game for LSU, which, by the way, has been a little bit of a problem all year for LSU.
Right.
They have not run the ball well this year.
In their loss at Auburn, as a matter of fact, LSU ran for 42 yards in that 7-3 defeat. There's Jamarcus Russell. Comes the blitz. And the pass is in and out of the hands of Dwayne Bowe, number 80. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Well, earlier today, we hope many of you saw Arkansas's win at Auburn. And, of course, that opened up things for LSU. But trailing here as the Auburn Tigers lose at home to the Arkansas Razorbacks. I keep thinking back to that Arkansas-Vanderbilt game and how close Arkansas came to losing that one.
Remember this for LSU, their schedule roughens up too. Still got to go to Tennessee and Arkansas yet.
Right. 3rd and 10. Four-man rush for Florida. Derek Harvey coming. The pass is dropped by Jacob Hester. 4th down.
That was great protection and great coverage by the Florida secondary. 3rd and 10. Florida was saying, I'll give you anything 5 yards and in, and it's the only thing Russell had to dump the ball. Jamarcus looked deep. He had plenty of time, had to dump it. Drop ball. Really another unforced error by LSU.
Chris Jackson back. Brandon James, number 25, out of St. Augustine, Florida. Had the great start as a punt returner. They cover the block and they got it. Special teams. Special teams, breakdowns, and good plays by Florida. Reggie Nelson.
Special teams and special players, that's what I was going to say. You can draw them up one way, but if you don't have a Reggie Nelson to come around the corner and make that play, it doesn't look good. Reggie Nelson, who has been maybe the most valuable football player on this team this year, comes off the corner and just lays out behind the 3-man protection. Watch number 1, goes right through it, makes the play, and gets it. Reggie Nelson, what a football player. Maybe the most valuable football player. Gets a guy inside, fights through him, and makes the block.
I can just imagine his mom at his home in Melbourne, Florida, Mary Lakes. She's fighting breast cancer. She was able to make it here to see her son play one game against Central Florida. She just must be bursting with pride. Here's Leak, back, pumps, goes right, throws it away.
Well, as we watch this game unfold here, remember how LSU dominated them, although it was at LSU. And then after that game, Urban Meyer went home, rewrote his beloved spread option. He wanted to run it, but he said, you know what, I got to coach what I got here. Number 42 came into the game, allowed for a little bit of a blocking back, and then since then, Florida has beaten Georgia, Florida State, Iowa, Tennessee, and Alabama.
2nd down and 10, Leak. Flips it out. Lewis Murphy to the 35 and out of bounds. Now Chris Leak really not comfortable in the pure spread offense. He's a classic drop back thrower. Prior to that LSU experience, You see the numbers, and then look what's happened in the last 10 games.
Look at that touchdown percentage. 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And boy, it's hard not to watch the field as you're watching this game, because every time number 12 comes off, who might be in the Heisman running, right?
Yes, I agree.
Number 15 comes on, who's about as exciting as anybody you could watch.
Here's a footnote. Tim Tebow was in Baton Rouge making an official visit to LSU, watching Florida lose that game. Here's Tebow. Again. Did the ball come out? No. No, 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 no.
He came out the other side, though.
Jesse Daniels tries to make the tackle.
You know, as I'm watching this, you got to understand why guys like Mike Shula spent 12 hours trying to sign this guy, don't you? It's a power football game around a freshman quarterback. Now think about that. Power football in the SEC provided by a true freshman quarterback.
And he brings enthusiasm. Urban Meyer has a leadership committee of 13 players. Tim Tebow is the only true freshman on that committee. Here's a pump fake for Lee. He's got a man on the right side, and he throws this one too far in front. And there was a man wide open in the end zone. Let's go back to Tim in New York.
All right, to the State Fair game, Vern. I've got to say that at least once. You know what I'm talking about. Texas and OU, Colt McCoy connecting with Lima Swede, a 33-yard strike, 14-10. Texas